Hello everyone, I'm really sorry about the delay here. We've just had some issues with the back end that we're just testing now.
Yeah, so I could imagine, trying to listen to either one of us was saying was probably tougher than trying to run this game. Wouldn't you say, Patchy?
Yeah, I am just gonna send it across to the other screen and check that as well.
All right, but we do appreciate everybody's patience in this, and just shout outs to our tech overlords in the MGS2 community, coming in to save the day. So Patchy's gonna signal both rudders. dlimes is ready. Plywood is ready. Patchy, you want to give him the countdown?
Yeah, so we'll get them going here in 3, 2, 1, a go. And good luck to both of these guys, and thank you very much to the runners for sticking with us through these issues. Thank you to Roy and Chooser for always just keeping an eye on the stream and coming in with that technical help whenever we need it. And I'll start the timer as well. That would probably help.
Sometimes
Thanks so much.
sometimes you just gotta take the MGSR GW bot and just give it a talking to. Just be like, all right, listen up. You got to start working right, because we got another match to commentate. So, but anyways, everybody, welcome back again. I'm just coming off now, actually kind of simmering down from my race against Mac. And if Mac is still out there, GG's to you, man. Definitely showed up to win.
That's some high level stuff.
Oh, absolutely. But either way, what I was going to try to say at the beginning of the last attempt of this was, dlimes is, most likely favored for this. He holds records in just about every category for this game and part of MGS1. Ooh, that roll into that door. It's very unusual for him to make those kind of minor things, which, by the way, in this category, every little movement hiccup actually adds up. Like, that's how far it's gone of being optimized. But either way, no one gets really counted out, just given, all the hurdles that happens here. So both are going to go up against Olga. dlimes getting the right side spawn, as does Plywood. So unlike the last run attempt, they both got left. So this is actually favorable for both runners this time. Which is going to be another follow-up 2 shots from dlimes for him, with another shot for Plywood right as she goes to the back. Sometimes you can get Olga to go up to the front where you can save a couple seconds, but it looks like they both got relatively the same kind of Olga. But, as we all know, Apache, it's not over yet. It only just begins.
It's nothing. dlimes with the dab drop, so nice. So
Wow.
Animation cancel. Plywood unfortunately doesn't get it. It's not completely consistent or anything, so you can get issues with that. But essentially, you just unequip and spam square, and it'll sometimes cancel the animation, saving half a second.
Yeah, I had trouble getting that my last race. It's a lot harder than it looks. Sometimes I just, kind of pray and hope I get it. But now the next step is going to be back to the engine room, where we're going to see... I'm probably thinking they're going to do like the same type of engine room strat. There's alternatives to going through. One involves going all the way down for a iframed kick or a shot, while the other just drops down to the level below, which is more of the not really like the safe method, but like, what would you call that? Is it like the old method?
Traditional. We normally say traditional, right?
Right. All right, that's the word. See, I knew I can count on you to help me out with this kind of stuff. All right, so dlimes went down to the bottom level. Plywood is now going to go for his, and you'll notice that they're just doing these like quick snap to center, which all they're doing is they're just target locking to center with the auto aim, which is aimed at the exact spot for shooting the radio. Which we do this for... Oh, the knockdown!
Oh no, so unfortunate. He might get kicked again. Yeah, I thought he would.
Oh, and
That's
that
rough.
poor guard got knocked over with him, but who cares about that guy? Man, this is a closer race again. Look at that. Yeah, see, this is what VE does. The slightest mistake and what was like a slight lead now turns into like only like half a second to a second difference.
That's the risk. I was literally saying in the previous game to Limes, you know, I don't like to go for that swag strat. You know, it's a risk that, you know, you're welcome to take if you want, but it is a risk going for that. There's so many more moving parts to that strategy. You are, you know, running at 4 guards, 4 shield guards as well.
The enemy is attacking. Stay alert, everyone.
It's
Yeah.
risky.
Let's see. I think they both did the double USP shot
Wow,
to
took a
M9.
shot at the door. You always want to take that guard out. That last guard by the door is the other guards aren't in range to hit you, but you have to take out that other one.
And I'm on the edge of my seat, and we're not even out of the tanker yet.
We're seeing all kinds of changes coming through here. So
All right, so
well.
dlimes is up first with a guard rush. He's going to go for the USP strat all the way through. Other times he can start up with the M9, which is actually slower.
He's playing shaky, right? Limes is playing shaky.
I mean, well, I know what it's like to be in that seat when something like that happens in a race and you just get all frazzled, just trying to recover. And, you know, it is something to watch out for, you know, when going in these races. Like, you got to be able to kind of recollect yourself over time and then just focus on your game plan all over again. Oh,
both of them get caught. Both of them get caught.
What is going on? Dude, what is this race? Oh my goodness. All right, so they're both gonna try hold one again, and oh no,
Limes misses the camera.
Oh, he didn't get the ladder. All right, so Plywood, he got the ladder skip glitch. Oh, he's probably gonna play it safe. Nope, he goes for it again. He says, you know what? I'm just gonna do it right. While dlimes opting to go around, play it safe. Oh my god, Apache, I mean, I don't know what we're watching. I mean, this is just unbelievable.
Yeah, Plywood with the exceptional domino roll for the guards, not easy.
While dlimes going for the hold up, which is pretty normal for him. It's a little bit slower than doing the domino roll, but the risk with the domino roll strat is sometimes when the guards fall over, they don't fall over the same way, so sometimes some guards would be left up standing, and you have to be very careful not to bump into them. But both look like they got all the pictures. They're gonna make the way out, and man, I don't know. I'm just
what a tanker, right? What a tanker!
I'm just shaking watching this, and I just got out of my race not too long ago. And I'm like, man, Apache, like, are we dreaming? It's like I never knew it was gonna be this tense. Oh my goodness! But all right, so Plywood is out, followed by dlimes. Both avoid the save boss. And man, if you guys thought if there's any kind of advantage of one over the other, I mean, even I don't know at this point, and I'm watching it with you. But you know, with the plant, there's going to be lots of other hurdles to overcome. With the early game, not so much, but just, you know, having crisp movement, going from strut to strut for bomb defusal. But things that they will both come up against in terms of who can try to get the lead over the other would be things like Fat Man, Fortune, the Harrier fight especially. There's also Ames RNG to consider in the B1 core, depending on where he is placed. Given as a fun fact, for New Game Plus or New Game Plus Plus, Ames's spawn location within the core is randomized every time. Whereas New Game, he spawns southwest, which is native to the story based on where it puts him. So that can be a minor time save for either one. I mean, we've seen both get northwest in races before. But before we get into any of that, it looks like they're both going to go for what I call the B-Man M9 meme pickup strat, which has a backstory to that. But before I get into that, basically, they're picking up the M9 early, which is not just for memes, but there's actually time to pick up this M9 plus some ammo if you want it, which is enough time to acquire the weapon and make your way back to the elevator, you know, just in time to make your way back up. It was a strategy that was shown in an improvised race before one of these events, and, you know, go BMN you know, showed off this M9 pickup strat, and we're all just looking at him like, dude, what are you doing? But as it turns out, like, he was actually onto something. You know, you never know what that guy is thinking of next, but now they make their way into the plant. So for the most part, it's just skipping all the tutorials of, hey, sun into the snow, knock on this wall, going to hanging mode. Oh, but who needs hanging mode? That comes later. But I don't know, Patchy. I mean, what are you thinking about, you know, these, you know, between these two guys? I mean, we've already seen both of them kind of had their, you know, hopefully early game jitters. But I don't know, man.
Right now, we've seen Plywood getting ahead. We're living in a dream world. We're all in a dream world. We're all sharing it together. A world where Plywood will beat D-Limes in a race. So allow me to go through reality. 2 minutes different between the PB. Limes ran the game a lot longer. It's still an absolute mountain for Plywood to climb this race. But if anyone's going to do it, if I would say anyone who's got a 104 who could beat Limes, it's going to be Plywood. He's learning all kinds of fast strats. He's coming up with a few things himself. He hasn't been playing the game very long, but he's been playing it very well. A couple more slips from D-Limes, and we genuinely could see Plywood take this race, but it is a huge mountain to climb.
Yeah, it can't be emphasized enough, like, how much the early game executions matter in this category. Everything from movement, you know, to shots you take, to bomb defusals you do, and, you know, even things like, you know, managing your codex effectively. You know, it's just like every little bit counts, which up until now, until perhaps the fortune fight, if we see any kind of like breakaways, it's, you know, mainly just making your way clockwise through the plant, making their way to strut D first, and hey, I recognize that box. I swear to God, I know a guy that uses that trick. I don't know, maybe that Pliskin fellow learned it from somebody.
They are pretty well in sync now. This is generally where Limes will begin to creep ahead with his stupidly good movement. Very like VR kind of style of moving, every frame mattering.
Alright, so both are going to go for the fast bomb defuse by just dropping in the hanging mode to the level below. You know, crouching next to the bomb, which will give you a faster defuse versus when you're standing. And I think, if I remember right, the math on a fast versus a standard defusal, I think it was about like 1.5 to like 1 3/4 seconds. Okay, 1 1/4. Okay, maybe it was console I was thinking of, but again, for this category, every bit of time save you can get is absolutely valuable. So both making the way now into strut E. Now making their next trip into the heliport. Ooh, little off target with that cartwheel. I mean, again, every cartwheel you do also has a tremendous effect on your run, especially the cartwheels that I myself tend to get myself into trouble with. The ones that, you know, end up getting stuck in corners or in doorways.
For that. There's a relatively new cartwheel coming out of strut E where you can cartwheel up the entire flight of stairs. They both executed it perfectly there. Very difficult to do, and if you miss it, you're going to fall on the floor, losing about 3-4 seconds.
Okay, so both are going to defuse the bomb, and you'll notice that, like, as they're finished defusing, they instantly, you know, stand up and then unequip the coolant spray, which is referred to as the coolant rise, which is part of a... Oh, excuse me. Which is part of a mechanic where the coolant puts you in first-person view every time. And as you're standing, you can actually use that first-person view to your advantage to actually stand yourself up quicker. As opposed to...
You don't actually have to use the coolant. You can use any of those first-person weapons, like the D-mic works as well. So you can do it with the D-mic as well. You wouldn't really use it in these sections because you wouldn't have it equipped. It just so happens that you always have the coolant equipped here. Those beautiful EFs. Plywood taking a risky bomb pickup.
Wow, I was gonna say that always made my hair stand up watching that mine pickup. I don't know. Me and the EF connected bridge don't have a good history together, but it's always nice to see somebody just go through and crush it. So both defusing the bomb and now making their way over to Strut A. But, I mean, so far it's, you know, yeah, D-Lime's coming away with the lead just ever so slightly. I mean, I don't count anything out. Because especially during these sections where I think historically D-Limes tends to excel, just given his background and how much he loves optimizing these rooms. So they're both going to now go for the, or second to final bomb, I should say, other than Strut C, which is going to be, oh, that missed Coolant Rise. Yeah, it's very tricky. So like every time you get out of the pipes, you want to try to Coolant Rise up of each one, which you'll see him do again. Plywood also defusing his bomb while making his way out of Strut A. But I think so far it's probably advantage to D-Limes by roughly...
Just ever so slightly.
Yeah.
Ever so slightly. I love that strat from Plywood there, just run through the guard. Like, if you trank the guard and try and move through him, he pretty much becomes a solid object, but you don't lose any time for running through a guard. That's really clever. I've not seen anyone use that there. I'm going to use that myself, but as I say, Plywood not been running the game long and he's already coming up with little optimizations, little ways of doing things a bit faster. I love that. I'm going to use that.
Yeah, I mean, even though D-Limes has the upper hand in, I guess, playtime, just with running this game, but Plywood is also very inventive. Even if it's a game that's either, you know, somewhat familiar with or if he's brand new, he just seems to come up with these really great ideas, even if they only save like a few seconds, but it's just really interesting, like, what people come up with. So this alert's intentional, so that you could shrink that SWAT guard on the bridge, so that the next time these two come back, they will stay asleep, because I guess apparently they only had one guard on duty. Maybe the other guard was just like, you know what, guys, I'm just not feeling up to it today. Yeah, I'm just going to take it easy. Or who knows, maybe it could have been Johnny, and he was just stuck in the bathroom, and he was the backup guard. I don't know, anything's possible these days.
I think it's a budgeting issue. I don't think they can spring for an additional guard, unfortunately. Guards are expensive, you know, it's a year's salary, that.
Yes, that it is. And D-Lime's opting to play it safe with picking up Sensor B, and you might be noticing at times, you know, depending on the run, you either acquire Sensor B, then defuse the bomb, but in this case, it's done in the reverse, as it was found out, you know, sometime after one of these VE tournaments was held.
It was the VE League in, not VE League, VE tournament, you were right.
Yes.
In, I think May, was it May earlier this year we had it?
Something like that.
Seems like a lifetime ago now, but yeah.
But anyways...
King of the Bees came up with it.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was gonna say, like, because like I think it was Bees that discovered it, and D-Limes was the one that like timed it to kind of like verify, like what the findings were. And as it turns out, even though you're starting from a little bit further away with the sensor as the final bomb is started, what you're skipping is a forced like cutscene load. Because normally, if you pick up the sensor, then defuse the bomb of the bathroom and leave, you get like this, like 3/4 of a second pause where you lose control of Raiden and then get the codec with Stillman. However, in this case, if you defuse the bomb, then pick up sensor B, you do not get that, you know, stalled time, if you would, and it's actually faster. You know, which is probably something, you know, most of us probably never imagined until somebody said, hey, you know what? What if I tried it backwards? And as it turns out, I mean, you know, sometimes those things can actually result in, you know, good things.
Yeah, and just for how quick stuff gets implemented, that was a 3-day tournament. That was done on the Friday, and then Saturday everyone was doing it. So it was done in one race on the Friday, then everyone was doing it Saturday.
Yeah, because everybody just realized, hey, I could do that too.
If someone goes out of the way to time something and says it's faster, everyone does it, like, within reason. No,
I mean, look at me. I mean, I just did the mine strat in the you know, in the B2 core, you know, and I just, you know, was aware that, like, you know, just recently.
I think we'll see both players doing that in this race. All right, this is Fortune. about 6 seconds worth of variance up for grabs in this fight, as long as they execute it correctly. We needed to blow up this forklift at the start. 3 boxes at the front, those 3 yellow boxes, then the golden barrels on either side. All the while we're contending with the possibility of Fortune shooting us or playing additional voice lines, which will slow us down tremendously.
Yeah, because unlike what most people might think, this is not an auto-scroller as you might think. There's actually things that are done to speed this up given the variances that exist. And essentially what is happening is both players are trying to get Fortune to destroy all the objects that Apache mentioned, which in turn will make Fortune end the sequence faster, which normally, if you let this play out, she will destroy the forklift eventually, both of the barrels in the corner, and then thus shoot the ceiling to end the encounter. So all we're doing is just kind of making the work a little bit easier for her by having her blow those up early, with the hopes that, you know, all the RNG is in your favor, which looks like for the most part, looks like it was
Both of them pretty even there, yeah.
Yeah, pretty even. I didn't see any, like, big, you know, big mistakes. So I'm expecting D-Limes to go chaffless.
Yeah, it looks like he's gone completely chaffless. He missed that on purpose. And I think Plywood will go chaffless as well. Oh, he does get the pickup. I think he risks the pickup, but he doesn't mind if he misses it. He can do both strats. So Plywood will use chaffs and D-Limes won't.
Man, I'll tell you, when I tripped that mine on that rooftop in my race, I mean, it definitely got my heart going. Because, funny enough, I actually did that in my practice run right before today. Somehow I
feel like it's such a gamble, man. It's still such a gamble.
I mean, like, I wasn't even trying to pick them up. I was just trying to avoid them. It's just, you know, the sensors are wider than they appear. But what you're going to see here is both of them are expected to pick up this Claymore at the bottom. Using the coolant rise tactic.
Plywood's already got it, right? He got it on the way across. And now D-Limes...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
D-Limes didn't, that's why he picked it up there. So yeah, Plywood can just go forward. He's already picked that up. Save him a little bit of time.
Wow, man, I really like that angled cartwheel coming off of those metal tiles. It's like I always, you know, just play that bridge like it's pins and needles. You know, you don't want to take like the wrong step at the wrong time.
Yeah, watch Plywood's cartwheel here coming up these stairs. He can cartwheel up the full staircase as long as he does it at a specific angle. You basically
he does it again.
Yeah, you do it as soon as riding turns. You can go for that.
Wow, that is really interesting. I never knew that was actually feasible, like from a consistent standpoint. But as they get underway with the Fat Man fight, not much to this other than getting all the 3 bombs defused, including the one that was planted at the start. And
Exceptionally
again,
fast boss from D-Limes there. Really fast.
Yeah, that was a really good Fat Man pathing. Ideally, you want Fat Man to go down in the middle. Second best would be down and to the right. And in my race against Mac, I actually got the Fat Man that went left and all the way around, which is, you know, the most unoptimal and most unlucky Fat Man pathing to get. It's, I don't know, there's really not much to it other than just praying for good RNG, but both good Fat Man fights. Plywood did not get the extra cartwheel before that codec.
He didn't get the fast... Well, he had to crouch for the fast bomb, so that's why he didn't get it. He didn't move left enough to get the fast bomb, which meant he had to crouch to do it. And so when he was standing up, he lost time you would normally use the cartwheel before the codec comes in.
Yeah, again, it just, you know, it goes back to, you know, like the basic philosophies of just what this category demands of you. And, you know, movement is, you know, one of the biggest contributors.
Yeah, D-Lime's really giving us a masterclass on there, and every fast bomb during the Fat Man fight as well, and getting the good RNG, has pulled him some real time out there.
Yes, absolutely. And, you know, so now he's making his way into the Shell 1 core. It's exclusively only on VE that you can do this where, you know, the game kind of throws you a lifeline and is like, hey, did you forget to go to Strut F? Oh, don't worry, we got you covered. You know, because somebody left their AK lying around in the locker room, and, you know, they wrapped it with a nice little bow on it, and it says, here, you take this. So
Lime's shell 1 movement has been so exceptional so far. He did the cartwheel up the stairs and he's squeezing them in everywhere to gain a bit of time. You can cartwheel in front of this guard at the elevator as long as you get in there quickly. Don't punch or do anything else that might alert him. And now we'll see a claymore strat.
Yeah, so what he's gonna do... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you go, you're good, you're good.
Alright, so what you're gonna see D-Limes do just now is he planted the mine and shoots it intentionally, which spooks the whole room, while doing a carefully timed buffer, whether if it's staggered movement or punch buffers, which is enough to buy him time to safely come down here during the evasion sequence. Knocks over a few guards, shoots another at the end of the hallway there, while making his way back up to the stairs where he came from, avoiding the SWAT team. And what this does is it keeps the elevator open, while at the same time you skip a scripted, I guess, cutscene, where normally if it's a, standard room, you see a guard running in a circle, he just decides to go for a jog that time. So you skip that. You do not have to open the elevator a second time, which I don't know exactly what the math and the time save is doing this over the standard method, but I want to say it's at least like a couple seconds. Like, if you do everything perfectly.
It's faster than a normal elevator, it's slower than a fast elevator. Nice aims from Limes as well. Southeast.
Yes, very nice aims, and then, of course, I got the northeast aims, especially when I needed it most. Because, like, I tell you what, in my practice runs yesterday and right before this race, I got northwest aims every time. And it seems like Ames is just this mythical creature that only shows up in the best spot at the best time you need him. But every other time... Oh, he got southwest in the middle of the room. So... a little bit of a time loss on that. It's going to give D-Limes a little bit more of a lead while he makes his way out of the core. And this Ames guy just isn't kind to anybody. Except for me, because I was really desperate.
If you're into those fancy cartwheels, we're going to see Limes cartwheel up a full staircase now. You've got to be at a specific spot. If you roll too early or too late, Raiden will fall over. Very nice, clears the entire staircase. It looks so cool as well.
That really does look
much more popular.
Yeah, I still gotta figure that out for myself. I just play it safe now until I get it.
I see Plywood go for the same thing as well. I know Plywood's been pretty hot on picking up whatever the fastest strats are for every single room. He's leaving no stone unturned in finding a good time in this game.
I mean, if he can do the quick cartwheel up and strutty, I would almost imagine he would do it here. Let's see.
Wow, nailed it.
And he gets it.
That was so nice.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of neat stuff out of both of these guys today. It almost makes you forget about the whole Tinker experience earlier.
Just goes to show you though, people think it's over because they mess up ladder glitch or something like that. It really isn't. It's never over in this race.
Yeah, I mean, there's just, Tinker's just a small portion of what really will kind of lead you in, as far as, like, what kind of pace you're expected to get. But it looks like now D-Limes has got a little bit of a, not really like a guaranteed lead, but he has, like, at least, like, I would say, like, a good strut in between himself and Plywood. Depending on what kind of Harrier D-Limes will go for, I imagine he'll go for the 2+6.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Which is, what that means for those listening is there's a certain attack pattern that you could set up the Harrier with, depending on how many hits you go for. In the race against Mac McD and myself, I believe he did the same, where we went for a 5+1, meaning we shot the Harrier 5 times at the start, plus an additional during a cutscene break. Where in this case, D-Limes is going to go for a 2+6, which is going to force a early jet stream phase from the Harrier. Let's see what he does here. So he's going to go for 1, 2 hits, 3 hits. Okay, interesting. Okay, so there's the cutscene. So it's going to put the Harrier into this like jet stream where it's going to push out from the shell and make a strafe run here. It's going to hit him 2 more times, while 1 more as it flies overhead. And he just got that. I almost thought he missed. Okay, so he needs 1 more hit.
Yeah, he's going to have to do a die shot, which loses time.
Okay, that is unfortunate. And then meanwhile, on Plywood's
Oh
end,
no, he's missed both. Limes is behind on this area. This is really bad.
oh no, it's gonna go for a second jet stream.
It's the other way. He has to turn
I'll
around.
let you go out in style.
It looked like Plywood was trying to... Yeah, I must be behind on my restream, but it looks like Plywood was attempting to do the same thing. But I think they also missed out on some hits. So he's going to go for the die shots here. He's got one. Looks like he's got two. But he's still one short.
That's a shame. He could have saved some real time there.
Yeah, I mean, even with the two die shots, I think that there wasn't enough damage done to end it there, which, you know, definitely could have given him a chance to, you know, make his way back. But, oh my goodness, I mean, like I said, you know, nothing gets counted out, especially with, you know, this Harrier fight. It's, I don't know, to me, it's probably one of the most influential terms of just even in a solo run or especially in a race. You know, it could really determine a lot of things, but man, I'm on the edge of my seat.
that's the worst Harrier I've seen Limes do in a long time. He really is giving Plywood chance to get into this race.
All right, so you're going to see both, or actually, no, I mean, Plywood did pick up Chaffs, but with dlimes, he just went for an auto lock center M9 shot. It's part of the chaffless strategy where, you know, really the chaffs are meant for that guard in particular, you know, with regards to a cipher that spawns in if an alert goes off. And a second one, which is meant to destroy some ciphers or just disable them as you make your way into Shell 2. But I think, depending on how quickly you get through here... Okay, so he just got in. You know, one shot to the back, but not the end of the world. But you have to be very cautious with how you time this section, especially with anything involving ciphers, where if you're on any gaps or loose panels, the ciphers, if they shoot you, will send you straight to the bottom, depending on where you are. So Plywood is going to do the standard method of just using the chaff to do the work for you, and then you just make your way into the shell.
Yeah, well, I'm still staying about one screen ahead at the moment. It could have all changed on that Harrier, it really could have.
Yeah, I was almost expecting Plywood to not really come out ahead with that fight, you know, considering Limes was already ahead by that time, but I expected, you know, maybe some kind of a, you know, a gain where, you know, it could, you know, but then again, I mean, you know, nothing is truly over, because another topic which I know we love talking about is, you know, the infamous swim glitch.
Have we seen Plywood do swim glitch, right? He hasn't yet, but I bet he's been practicing it. I almost guarantee he's been practicing it. Does Limes need to go for it? And if Limes doesn't go for it, would it put Plywood ahead? I think it would. So,
I mean,
kind
right
of a
now,
scary moment.
Like right now, dlimes is ahead, and I'm just kind of estimating, but probably like a good 20-25 seconds. Not entirely like a for sure thing, but you know, the slightest hiccup of, you know, anything at this point could bring Plywood back in. So I think it's just gonna play safe with the Nikita pathing. Okay,
I think
so
if Plywood's been practicing it, he has to go for it.
yeah, like if I was Plywood right now, I would definitely go for it. Because right now, dlimes is just too far ahead to, you know, just swim conventionally. You know, because after this segment, there's really not a whole lot other than Vamp, which, you know, I really felt bad for Mac when he missed the last shot. But, I mean, Vamp could be a thing here for either one. I don't expect it to, personally. But, again, you never know what's going to happen in this thing.
The problem with Vamp is the section before gets everyone's blood pumping, so everyone gets excited, and then you just shoot too fast on Vamp. I've seen it happen many times. You need to, when you get that codec for Vamp, you need to just breathe, have a little bit of patience, take a deep breath, and then space out your shots.
Yeah,
It's too much time at stake, like way too much time at stake for failing Vamp.
Yeah, you always got to be in control regardless of the situation, and it's, you know, from a runner to a commentator, I mean, it's easier said than done, I'll tell you that.
Oh, for sure, yeah, for sure.
Let's see, I'm gonna say, let's see, right now he's got Yeah, he's got like half a room distance. And if dlimes plays it safe, and if Plywood goes for it, and he needs to get like a really good one.
I'm gonna guess Limes won't go for it. He's too ahead. He is too ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's gonna play safe.
Hold safety. dlimes13. He's not risking anything. You'd have gone for it in this situation, Joe. I know you would have.
I mean,
You'd
well, it depends on what side of the screen I would be on. Like, if I was in dlimes' position, I'd probably, knowing me, I probably would have gone for it anyway, just to kind of put the pressure on. But if I was in Plywood's shoes, I would absolutely go for it no matter what. You know, because
Yes.
just looking at this pace right now, there's really not a whole lot he could do. No, he's also playing it standard.
As I say, if he's been practicing it, he'd go for it. If he hasn't practiced it, he won't go for it. Like, and he's picked up a lot of different strats so far. That's just one of them he hasn't quite added to his repertoire yet. I'm sure we'll see swim glitches out of Plywood soon.
Yeah, because, you know, considering he was, you know, getting back into this recently, I wasn't sure myself if he actually, like, practiced them or done them recently. But either way, I mean, it's, you know, still not like a, you know, like the nice thing about the swim glitch in the race is, like, it's not a one-all be-all, you know, like as your ticket to either secure a win or to catch up. You know, I mean, there's still a lot of things that could happen.
Yeah.
After this, I mean, as soon as Plywood makes his way... Correction, wait, no, he just... Okay, now he's getting into Vamp. I was getting a little ahead of myself there. So D-Lime's made his.
Good vamps from both.
Alright, very
Very,
nice.
very nice. Yeah, I think the swim glitch is becoming a bit of a psychological tool. If you're ahead, you can force your opponent to do it if they can go for it, which can lead them to making even more mistakes. And if you know if someone's slightly behind you and they're good at it, like it's such a good psychological tool in a race now. I do think eventually it will be standard and everyone will go for it. I've said this before. The swim glitch apocalypse is coming, but it's not today.
The swim glitch apocalypse.
Yeah.
Oh man, but I'll tell you, I mean, you know, I was watching Mac very carefully when he made his way into the, you know, the B1 after the Akita. And I was telling myself, okay, if this guy does it, I am doing it too. Because I already convinced myself that I had to do it. But as soon as I saw him do it, I was like, all right, Mac, it's on. I'm falling right behind you. You're not getting ahead of me. And I don't know what kind of swim glitch you got, but I got like a 2-cycle.
His was, you both had 2 cycles, you had like kind of like a longer 2 cycle, or it might have been vice versa. But both of them were 2 cycles, but one was slightly faster.
Oh my god, no wonder why it was so damn close after that. It really makes you appreciate, like, you know, running and watching the game and, you know, providing commentary to this, because, I don't know, it's like, you know, I mean, look at, like, you know, let's say 30 minutes ago, Apache and I were just hit our jaws to the floor, like, what is going on in the holds? And now we're just watching them just be like, yeah, we're just swimming, we're having a good time. Oh, it's Emma, but we're having a good time.
The Emma section, apart from, you know, swim glitch, the occasional mishap at Vamp, it's a very chill section, but it all leads up to the end game. Like, the end game in VE has crazy amount of variance, high opportunity for mistakes. Very, very scary section of the game.
Yeah, I mean, you know, as good as D-Limes is, like, he was having some recent trouble with Arsenal Gears Eugenum, which is a room that is not to be taken lightly. You know, whether if it's setting up a careful cartwheel to a quick knockout, making the bridge gap jump. Any one of those can go wrong, and it's a room that nobody wants to mess up in, you know, whether if it's for a race or not.
Yeah, it'll take your dreams of winning any races away from you very quickly.
Yeah, because, you know, like some of the other things they both experienced today, you know, any one of these can definitely, you know, either, you know, secure a lead or give someone else an opportunity to catch up. Oh, and just like as an MGSR disclaimer, no Emmas were harmed during this race today. I mean, we're just getting over her fears of the bugs. You know, we ain't got time to wait.
It's a hug. It's just a hug.
Let's see. I think they're... I mean, for PC, I think the Emma bump's just pretty standard, but, you know, I imagine they're both going to go for it.
Can't imagine anyone ever not going for it. I really can't. On PC, of course.
I'm
Is
still
it,
going for an HD collection. I don't care what anybody says.
no, please, Joe. Don't encourage people who might be watching the stream to do that. Like,
It's not that bad. Just
You're a
don't
you're a bad
set up a.
influence.
Just don't set it up as part of a marathon and soft lock the game. But either way,
that movement leaving the shell too is a little bit tricky. You do have to be precise. You don't want to get caught there. Oh, is that enough to get through the door? Just. That
yeah,
was close
I was.
to not going through the door.
That was, yeah, that definitely made me nervous seeing that. Like, as soon as you said that, it's like... but yeah, so for those wondering, well, what are we even talking about with Emma, and why is it important to push her through the door like that versus just, you know, dragging her through? Pushing Emma through the door, which we call the Emma bump, puts her further ahead in the room while you move at full speed, rather than the, I don't know, like, slow speed that we're on when we're escorting her around.
The handhold animation through doors is really, really slow. Once you go through the load zone, if you come out the other side, it's very, very slow. So if you push it through, you don't get that. So it only saves about 2 seconds. But on console, it has a very high chance of soft locking your game. So we don't do it on console, but we do it on PC.
I do it on console.
Well, you shouldn't.
Well, I guess it just makes me a lunatic.
A rebel.
I mean, we're coming up to sniping, folks. I mean, we're just trying to riff here, but it, you know, we're doing our best. But you know, as they're both making their way into the sniping section, you know, at the very beginning, you do have some tasks to, you know, clear some of the, you know, the parameters with, you know, ciphers, some guards, as well as a codec call, which is, you know, Pliskin, or I'm sorry, now Snake. Man, who would have figured? It was him all along. I didn't. Actually, I really did. But yeah, so that codec call is more than just him saying, hey, I made it. And we're like, yeah, we don't need your help. But that codec call is a reminder of saying, hey, Emma's about to run into guards here. Get ready. You know, so he's going to shoot down left, upper left, or I'm sorry, down right and upper left. I'm getting ahead of myself again. While Plywood, you know, catching up to him just momentarily. And then once Emma clears up to the first bridge, then... you know, it's not really a whole lot to do here other than just kind of, you know, reflect, doing some circles. I mean, I draw smiley faces just to kind of keep my spirits up.
We always like to say at this part of the game, this is the MGS2 Very Easy League for MGS2. We have 12 players who will compete against each other over the next 10 weeks because we're in week 2. Everyone will play everyone every Thursday at around 6 PM at EST. We will bring you a stream of some of those games. Today we had obviously the first game between Joseph Joestar 316 and Mac McD, and now we're having this match between dlimes13 and Plywood. The rest of the games will be played off stream. All of them will be shown in the Discord. I'll put the schedule up for you as well. If you want to catch any of those games, you can come and see them in the Discord. And then of course when we start week 3 next week, we will again have some games on stream. So 2 or 3 games every week on this channel on Thursday at 6 PM EST.
Yes, definitely. And then, you know, like I said, you know, look forward to more of these in the, you know, or like Apache said, look forward to these in the future. And then I guess one other thing is, top of everything, Apache mentioned, you know, be sure to follow us on our community Twitter of at MGS Runners, and for sure follow this man I'm commentating with at Apache Smash. I mean, the guy's a legend. I mean, so you might as well, you know, follow the MGS Runners Twitter, get caught on the latest of what's happening, and then just follow Apache. I mean, the guy is just amazing. I mean, you know, he's I don't know. I'm just running out of nice things to say about him. I mean, just like, you don't really need any other reasons to follow him on Twitter other than just saying, yeah, just follow at Apache Smash. There you go.
Yeah, please don't follow me on Twitch. I never stream. But someone who does stream is Joseph Joestar 316, who streams like 5 days a week. It's a really good Twitch channel. Check him out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess almost 6 days a week if you include the stream team stuff. But yes, that is true.
Yeah, it's a good stream. He runs a lot of Metal Gear games, so you will see many more titles than your average Metal Gear speedrunner, I guess.
Yeah, I'd probably say out of everybody that I know, I'm probably like second in line of who can run the most Metal Gear games for speed runs. I mean, obviously number one goes to Jaguar King. I don't know anybody else that knows that many. And actually, as another pitch to a fellow community runner, is Jaguar King is planning to run, get this, 14 games back to back and back again marathon this weekend. 14 games, Apache.
Yeah, is that Saturday? Like, that's
Yes,
gonna be nuts.
I believe so. Saturday the 17th. I mean, he's actually doing D-Rust for part of the games, like as he's getting through this week. But yes, he is going to be celebrating his 1-year Twitch partnership anniversary. Who, out of the community, I believe was the first one on top of the 1 year for himself for actually getting partnered on Twitch. You know, so I mean, if Jaguar King's listening, I mean, shout out to you, man. You know, we love you, and you know, Godspeed on your marathon on Saturday. Because I'll tell you, Apache, when I tried running, you know, up to like 8 games, I'm struggling to remember what to do next. And here he is. He's like, you know what? I'm just gonna do 14 games.
I struggle to remember what to do when I play one. There's a lot going on, right? There's a lot that goes into one of these speedruns. It's difficult to, you can't remember where to go all the time and what to do and be fast. It's too much.
Well, I'll tell you one thing not to do, and this is just, you know, my personal opinion is, you know, do not pair up MGS2 and Twin Snakes together just because the controls and the elevator layouts are too alike, and you're definitely going to get one or the other mixed up. And, oh, look, Vamp is dead. As we're talking. You know, it's just...
It was a nice execution on the Vamp there. It was a good fight. I mean, you can lose a lot of time if you hit left too far, or you try and do something cute. You can end up spamming all your bullets out. I've seen plenty of people lose a lot of time there. I think JMZ is quite popular for messing up a Vamp 2 fight and losing like 10-15 seconds. I think it was on a PB run.
Oh man, what was that? A PSG1 I quit there. Interesting.
It's like I just cursed it by saying that. He's out of...
Oh, what's he? Oh, he's out of
no!
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 No, he's out! Oh, no! Oh my god. Apache, hold me. What just happened?
Please, no.
Oh my god, did we just give him the broadcaster's jinx? Oh no!
I think so.
What's he doing? No, he fell up the stairs. Oh my god. It's like I almost don't even want to talk it during some of these sections. It's like we're just jinxing them.
This is the most cursed race I've seen so far. This has
Oh
been
my
pretty
god, this
cursed.
is the tanker that we saw earlier rearing its head all over again. Oh my goodness! But after they both get out of there, making the way back into Arsenal Gear, which is, you know, where really the end game kind of comes in full circle.
You know this fellow?
You got Arsenal Gear Gegenum, which I mentioned earlier. It's a very important room to get right, as well as the others that follow that. But like I said, just in recent, you know, runs and practices, I mean, I know dlimes has had some struggles in there. But I would almost expect him to just kind of, you know, either play it safe or, you know, still go for it, but just with some caution.
Yep.
You know, like I would not expect him to do the longer route of just, you know, evading the Tengu off to the right, which is a little bit slower than going for the aggressive push and over the gap in the bridge. But I don't know, man. I mean, this race has seen some back and forths and twists and turns, and my God, I don't know what else happened. I mean, I'm just still trying to process what just happened a little while ago. But
you can't take any room for granted in this race. No, you are not above any room in this game. You can lose a lot of time because everything is such like fast execution. We are playing, you know, the lowest difficulty. The time of everything is so low and short. The slightest mistake is just way more punished, especially in a race.
Is there somebody there?
All right, so dlimes is going to make his first run into Arsenal Gear Gegenum, making both frame-perfect codec calls there. Very nice. So he's going to make his way up the pathway here with a preemptive cartwheel. A punch cartwheel, so he is going to do the safer method.
He's
he
been
makes
doing
the
that
jump.
more and more. He did that in a PB attempt recently, and he actually saved time. And I'm wondering if it's because he gets the better angle on the cartwheel and never cartwheels into the wall. It actually turns out that it's a little bit faster and obviously safer as well because you do that punch to the Tengu. So I don't think it's just for safety. I think it might actually be a little bit faster.
Yeah, I actually like it because you get a little more control to set up that condition. Because again, what you're trying to do is not necessarily trigger an alert. That's the last thing you want, but rather you're trying to create a distraction, which is going to lure one of the guards over, while at the same time you're trying to cross the scary gap on the bridge. Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's a
that's
really scary gap.
all right. So they both made the gap, and Plywood did, I guess, more of the I don't know what you call like standard, if that's what we're
Yeah,
going with.
traditional approach
Traditional.
on the Tengu.
Moron.
And then meanwhile,
Damn,
as
kid.
Plywood is answering some
What are you thinking?
really weird codec calls from the Colonel,
Moron.
who's kind of
Damn,
acting
kid.
strange. I mean, D-Limes is
Moron.
he's just kind of
Damn,
messing around
kid.
with Snake. He's just like,
What are you
haha,
thinking?
Snake, look what I can do with this.
Moron. Damn, kid. Moron.
I always find it fascinating that for
Damn,
someone who's
kid.
never used a weapon like that before in their life, they could just suddenly
What are
go
you
from,
thinking?
oh, this is how you swing a weapon, to now, oh, look, I can deflect bullets now.
Yeah, I can defeat the the president. I can defeat the ex-president on top of Federal Hall in sword-to-sword combat after a 5-minute demonstration. Yeah, I like it a lot.
It's got to be those nanomachines, man. It's always the nanomachines.
Yeah, that's a good explanation. Both
But-
of these runners obviously just slashing once and getting that 45-second timer going. Tengu 1 for Limes. A lot of things have caught him out in this race, right, that wouldn't normally, so who knows how this is going to go. But he's just going to try and kill the guards as quickly as possible while staying mobile, reach that doorway at the end as quickly as possible. Once he reaches the door, he'll put his back to it and he'll perform a punch kick in first person, let go of first person, which extends the hitbox into the load zone behind the door, called the Tengu 1 skip. If you
very
mess up
nicely
any
done.
of that, you're losing a lot of time. And we saw
Yeah.
Mac have a little bit of trouble with it in the last race. It can catch you out. Tengu 2, again, we're just gonna be killing these guards as quickly as possible. The fastest way to do that is to aim at the spawn in the left of the room. And we just fire these stingers. We aim at a specific point so that the stingers will hit them as they travel left and right. And this position that we stand in actually makes the Tengus more likely to jump off at the left and right rather than down the center, which gives the stinger less time to hit them. So it's a setup found by Beswick, which is really, really nice. Good Tengu 1 from Plywood as well. Sorry, Joe, I'll let you get in there.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, I actually like this method of this angle, setup, because it gives like the missile like better trajectory to make it into that room up there. In addition to like influencing the Tengu's like movement behavior, because like you said, Beswick did it in the tournament that we had back over the summer, and I was like, oh man, this is another meme strat. And again, as it turns out, it's actually better.
Yeah, it's at first it was like, oh, is it just like easier? Is it an easier setup? And over time, people experimented with it more, and now I think pretty much everyone is leaning towards this as the best way of doing it. The old strat, essentially the old strat was you just stand in the middle of the room and fire stingers and try and catch the roof of the doorway they run out of. Because the Tengu spawn differently every time, and take different amounts of time to reach the fence, you had to correct your stinger shots every single time. Whereas the Bestwick method relies more on lock-ons rather than your own timing. So it seems like it's a lot better.
You came in handy.
Yeah, and I think it just makes it less likely that they are just gonna run up right up to the middle, because when the Tengus leave the room and they hop over the railing, they have iframes during that jump. So I like it just because of the fact that while it's not a guarantee, it gives you a better chance that while you fire the missiles ahead of time, that it will reach their target, at least with a higher degree of like successful hits.
Oh, I'm just going for the new raise, which is a second faster He got the right one in the head. He gets the first one in the middle in the head, then the right one in the head, which is very difficult because there's such a low amount of time to execute that second shot. And then he shoots the left one in the leg, and while the stinger is traveling to the leg, he unequips and runs towards the ray to make the travel distance between the headshots shorter. As I say, saves about a second, or over a second, just over a second, but really, really difficult to execute. So that was nice.
Someone needs to remind Plywood that Arsenal gear is a smoke-free zone. I mean, I see he's playing around with the SIGs over there while he's waiting for Solidus to finish his speech. Oh, look at dlimes giving Solidus a chance.
What do you hope to hear? You know he doesn't know anything.
It's not him I want.
Fun thing about this torture sequence with Solidus is that the amount of time you have to resist is varied on difficulty. On VE, it's 10 seconds, and on European Extreme of MGS2 Substance on PC is 50 seconds. And I'll tell you, the 10 seconds is definitely a lot easier to handle than the 50. And if you include other additions like MGS2 Sons of Liberty on PS2, or even the Substance version, it's like over a minute on one of those. And, you know, it's definitely not something you want to, you know, break your arm over, especially when it comes to stuff like that. But for very easy, in its name, it's, you know, rather easy to, you know, just be like, you know what, Solidus, we'll just kind of let you pretend you have the upper hand. And, you know, while he does that to Plywood, dlimes is going to get started with Solidus with a quick 3-hit knockover after breaking his guard from the start. And he's just purposely baiting out these missiles, which leaves him wide open. After knocking him over twice, he's just going to make his way over the rooftop at least more than halfway to where Solidus will do the shorter zip. If you're not far enough away from him prior to phase 2, he will zip across the rooftop, which is slower. So you definitely want him to do the shorter zip whenever possible. Now, I expect dlimes to just do a block, which he did.
He's going to do a parry for the second. Yep, there we go.
And there's the parry.
Time for dlimes, 55:39. Very nice.
Do you remember this?
Trying to offer up my claps. I don't know if people can hear it, but yeah, it's GG's to dlimes.
This is where we first met.
But
Really,
now,
really well played.
I remember now.
Plywood's going to finish up on Solidus, and I'm pretty sure we'll be going to IGT either way, but I'm pretty sure that will be a win for
That's it.
Limes. They both made the fair share of mistakes. I think Limes just made less of them.
I think it was like, you know, the tanker was definitely, you know, frazzling both of them, but dlimes really did kind of bring it back together in the plant. You know, especially just with, you know, the middle to late game, just kind of seems like that's where he seems most comfortable in terms of just, you know, where he kind of goes with the race. So now Plywood is up next, so he's going to go for the first
double
parry.
parries. Double parries is so good.
And there's
Really
the
not easy
second
to
one.
do that.
Oh, he missed the
Oh
scam.
no.
Oh no! That's why I stopped doing the second stab, just you know, because of the terrain.
Do you remember this
But
place?
you know, I will give him props and of course some claps
This
for
is where
that.
we
GG's
first
to
met.
Plywood for doing the double parry. I love doing the
remember
double
now.
parry, even at times when it's not wise to do the double
Very
parry. But
scary to parry on both sides of phase 2. It's intimidating.
yeah, give both of these guys a round of applause. You know, and of course, you know, shout outs to, you know, Roy and Juza for helping fix the technical quirks we had at the beginning.
Yeah, you're not
And-
kidding, right?
You know, and then shout outs to you and dlimes for hosting this thing today, and of course, thanks for having me along for commentary.
Found something to pass along to the
But
Yeah, always me.
but I guess now that the audio thing is sorted out, I wonder if these guys want to
Are you
hop in
talking
the
about
voice
the
chat to kind of give some final remarks, or
Yeah, we'll take them both in here if they want to join. More than welcome to. I better mute their stream so we don't get double audio or anything.
What kind of?
But yeah, if
Oh, man,
Limes is
what a-
good, you can jump in here.
man, what a race! Oh my goodness, it was
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, dlimes? GG's, dude.
Uh-huh.
That wasn't your best performance, right?
No, not at all. I played like absolute crap. So, but whatever. A win's a
Well-
win, I guess.
that's all that matters in the end. Maybe a little bit higher on your accumulative time because all races are tracked. All the IGT across every race is tracked. And in the event of a tiebreaker, we go to the player with the lowest accumulative time. So that's the only thing that matters for us. Outside of that, it's all about getting that W. And
Yeah.
it's pretty safe to say you got it in this race.
Yeah, when I took the continue at hold 1, I screamed at the top of my lungs. I'm like, "I'm gonna lose this race." Like, I'm like, "What the hell's going on?" But
You both took one
I
at
don't
the
know.
same time in hold 1 in the same place.
Yes.
Oh,
You
he
were
did
both,
too?
Yeah,
yeah,
you
at the
guys
same
both got
time.
caught by the
I
same
did.
guard.
I was so out of it, I wasn't watching for most of it, so
Yeah, as I say, you both made your fair share of mistakes in that race, but um, ultimately Plywood turned out to be more costly. He had a real chance to beat you at Harrier, to be honest with you.
yeah, I
He-
know he had a better or had a chance to have a better Harrier, but had bad RNG, so
I think it was still better, but it wasn't enough at the same time.
yeah. I got just screwed over by my die shot, so I was in a terrible position and just fired too early, so
So you didn't decide to go for swim glitch. Why didn't you swim glitch? Did you just feel you had enough?
He
I was
do.
ahead. I was ahead enough.
He do.
So
Hey, what's up, Plywood?
So Plywood,
Hey.
welcome. I think if anyone was going to beat D-Lams today, there was a real opportunity to do it. Plywood. It's unfortunate, mate.
I know. I know. I know. I could have done the ultimate upset, the person who doesn't even have it a 103, but it's
I
still a
think your
super
103
meaty
might be in
run.
the post. I think that's on its way to you very soon.
yeah, for sure.
I mean, like we
Yeah.
were saying, like throughout the race, that like there's just like the little things that Plywood has picked up so quickly that you're certainly well on your way to to get up there.
We're here for it.
But yeah, like that tanker. I mean, Apache and I, we were just like spiritually holding each other, like, what is going on? Hold what? It's like,
Like
oh,
I'm not gonna lie, when we had the tech issues and had the restart, I was playing like crap as well. I was like, sweet, I get another chance. But I just played worse. Like, what the hell?
I don't know. I mean, it's like you never underestimate the tanker, regardless of the situation. But
No.
it was like you guys both got caught by the same guard, like almost doing like the same type of maneuver. It was like,
I
like
went too down. I don't know why I went so down. I should have just trusted the shot. That was basically all it was. Like I just didn't trust my shot. Also, I did a meme shot in uh deck 2, which was completely pointless, and it lost me like 3 seconds. So I'm not doing that meme shot ever again. That was
Uh-oh.
so dumb.
Yeah, you've
Um,
always got to shoot that guard. If you're going to do anything with that guard, if you get the alert, you have to shoot him because he's close enough to knock you off the
Yeah,
door.
well, I don't need to go. I was just for the last few runs, I've tranked that guard just as a joke because you can, but I missed. So it's like, I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't need to do this.
Well, I mean,
So,
speaking of,
I'll give you points for just like attempting those kind of things. I mean, it's something like I would do with other places of the
do some
run.
memes. I don't know if I should do it. I see. The thing was, I was just like, it's limes. Oh, nice.
Well, I mean, at least it did make for like it was like on pins and needles for a good part of it. I mean,
Cool.
yeah, I think it was. I think
Oh
D-Limes
man.
kind of had it most of the way. I mean, there was an opportunity at Harrier for both.
Okay,
Either to
sorry. I have to interrupt you. I'm really confused right now.
why is
Oh,
your feed? Oh,
okay,
what
it's
the
back.
hell?
No, so okay, I thought I credits freezed, and then the credits started coming back, but the song wasn't playing, and now the song's playing again.
I'm very concerned. What is this?
I'm also kind of scratching my head on what we're seeing right here.
See that print screen button presser I sent you is working, Plywood. That's good. You might win this race now.
I haven't pressed anything. Well, I did click out of the window, so there is that, but
That's don't do that. But I do that all the
Clear-
time. I do that all the
well, I
time
do
'cause I
that all
run
the
DS for
time.
Windows.
So what's the problem?
No, what vSphinx?
I'm not sure which one I'm using, to be honest with you. I'd have to
Okay,
check.
okay.
Also, for some reason on my OBS, looks like there's like a ghost image of the FMV.
Yeah, we can see it on stream. So
All right.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, this has been a really memey run.
Oh my
Did
god,
I
it's,
mention that?
it's
Yeah.
the lolly lully low.
I was a little bit spooked there. I'm like, oh great. I guess I won't get to see what this time was.
I'm curious to see if this is going to finish out to show that time, regardless of what we're seeing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'd be okay to
2-hour
throw this.
DNF. Let's go.
Oh, please,
Here
though.
comes the sub hour, boys
Uh.
and girls, everyone.
Yo, Patchy, hand me that auto script for that print screen when you're done. I mean, what?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, none of that, please. Yeah, regardless of all the stuff that's gone on, it was a really entertaining race, and I've enjoyed it so much.
I bet you
It was high
did.
quality.
Yeah,
Burn the
did.
video. No.
This is live's like I can't have this going out there.
we had a restart, tech issues. We got it all going, and then
Cursed.
you guys put on an absolute performance. Yeah, it was pretty cursed.
All right. Coming up on mine. I know what the time's going to be, but I won't spoil it. I will say it's not the fastest time of the day.
Platonic.
That I could guess.
Oh, God.
It's high.
Still a 103.46. Wow.
Yep.
Can't believe that's still a 103.
Yep. I had to dig deep for a little while just to get my head in order, but whatever.
Yo, Plywood did the double parry on Solidus, by the way, in both sections of phase 2.
And then the Pierce miss. I'm like, what? Like, come on.
And then you
Oh.
tried to stab him again, which was
Okay,
great.
so the music is playing right now, but the last credit is on screen. I don't know what to think of that.
Oh boy.
If the song's still playing, I'm recording all this, by the way. I'm mashing, but I don't know what's going on. Song's still
Well-
playing. Does it have to wait for the dang song? Did I lose
Yeah.
time because of that? Great.
Oh boy.
I don't know. What I'm just mashing.
Nice fade of letters.
Yeah, I don't know.
If everyone could just forget what you've seen here today, we're going to be doing a possible burning of the VODs afterwards.
Okay. All right. Game said all right. All right.
Oh.
All right.
I thought you brought the credits freeze back from the day. Back from the dead.
I was worried there for a moment, like, so this
105
really
flat.
105
Damn.
flat, baby.
Right. I beat you by a minute. That was the goal. So
That's a low bar. Let's be honest here.
I can still say I dominated. But yeah, that was weird. Like, if you're on the new V-Fix, like, that's even more reason. Like,
I
well,
can
I'll
assure
never
you this
install
would have
it.
been a 4 if that didn't happen.
Right. Right.
Yes, definitely.
I think so too.
All
That
right.
was
was only
a-
like 10 seconds, I'm telling you.
This was a good
Ridiculous.
week 2 stream of VE League. Just to say again, every Thursday around 6 p.m. EST, we will be having races on the channel from the MGSR VE League. And we also have streams of people running on the Discord as well for games that we can't get on the Thursday night stream. If you look at the schedule, you will be able to see where those races are taking place. Thanks everyone for watching. D-Limes, any thoughts?
Tune in next week for a few more exciting matchups. Who will be on the channel? We shall see.
Plywood, any thoughts?
That was a good meme.
That was a good meme.
Well
Joe,
said.
thank you for coming with me as usual. Really appreciate it, mate. Any thoughts?
I guess this is a race that's hard to forget, but
I kind of want to forget this, honestly.
No, are you kidding me? No, I mean with the almost credits freeze, the tanker one whole nightmare. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, not nightmare, but the experience. No, it was a good race. It's happy to be participating, commentating, and I definitely look forward to more of these next week. As
Can
well
I
as the ones happening on off the stream as well.
can I ask everyone a serious question?
What's that?
We'll just go around the room. What is your favorite Doors song? Limes.
Riders on the Storm.
And that is all we've got time for. We don't need to ask anyone else because I'm sure it'll be the same answer.
Love Me 2 times.